buying index funds is great. And then there's a lot of benefit to doing that, but that's not going to outperform a well-run hospital, well-run practice. If you're able to compound wealth, and I think a big thing to understand is what is nominal returns, which is what my statement tells me. So maybe my statement is telling me, hey, I made 10% this year. Is that good or bad? I don't know. Well, right. What was inflation? What was taxes and what was fees? So what is your real return after all that stuff? And then did it grow your purchasing power? And so I think more people, and especially this past year, so in 2021, inflation came back into being in the lexicon of what we talk about, where people are like, it's front and center. Here's inflation. What is your real return? Because if inflation's 6.8% or 6.2% and you made 7, well, that's not great, because basically you didn't do anything but, match what inflation was. So you want to understand and build real returns. And that's where I think if you go back to the idea of, dentistry and veterinary medicine, you have a private practice owner, they're in a great spot because you can look at, there's a demand for that service. You can raise prices. You can ensure that you're continuing to grow. And so if your business isn't growing at that level of inflation, then yeah, you probably are shrinking. And maybe you need to look at kind of the things that are going on within your business, because both of those businesses are really profitable. You know this as well as I do, like really profitable businesses that are significantly more profitable than the average US business and can do a lot of great things. And there's, demand, and it's also really resilient to, economic shocks, whether you look at, COVID. Yeah. Now, dental definitely shut down and had some worrying times, but best years ever. I've heard that from dentistry, from dentists and veterinarians in 2020, right? And that was wild. You would have never thought that in April of 2020 that you'd have a banner year with all that madness going on. So I just think from that standpoint, a lot of times from an investment piece, it's like, shoot, your business is a really, really good spot. And if you're maxed out at capacity, you can't expand. And I think that gets into the real estate piece as well. But like, how do you want to invest? Because you have a different toolbox, right? Like I can't go reinvest in my dental practice. I don't have that skill set. I don't have that knowledge, same as you. But for a lot of dentists and veterinarians, it's just like, look at reinvesting back in your business because there's such a good return there versus sometimes diluting yourself, because the idea of, concentration builds wealth and diversification keeps it is very, very true. And if you look at a lot of people, it's like buying index funds is great. And then there's a lot of benefit to doing that, but that's not going to outperform a well-run hospital, well-run practice.